Hello and welcome to End Focus, coming to you this week from Final Destination. And that, of course, means no items and Fox only. I am your host, Hilka. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Rosalie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I am very tired again because next week is Switch launch time.
Sure is.
It is, which means I've been writing a lot of things in a very short amount of time, and my brain is a bit like it's a bit switched out.
Oh, I have bad news
I
about
know.
the stories we have today.
I know. It's fine. It's going to be like this for a while. I was actually thinking it's funny because, every time there's been a Nintendo console launch in the past, I've been like, yeah, so excited. And I'm not excited. But this time I'm like, oh, but I have all the stuff I need to do. And, I have so many things to review and I'm very tired already. And then I didn't realize that this Monday was a bank holiday. And instead of being like, yay, time off, I was like, oh no, that's less time to do things.
Oh, no.
And I'm also on annual leave at the end of this week because it's my partner's birthday. So I'm just like, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I believe in you.
Yeah, lots of coffee and hope and really hoping Argos sends my Switch on time. I just checked actually, my order's in progress, so that's reassuring a little bit. But yeah, other than that, I'm good. The sun is out. That doesn't happen here very often. So
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm good. Yeah. I've been very busy. I had to deal with some home stuff today, and that was a colossal pain in one very particular way. Just some badly designed machinery. And I've also just been working on a bunch of behind the scenes stuff for Gay Podular. That should hopefully bear fruit in the near future, but it sort of depends on how everything goes. And like you, I'm also very excited for the Switch 2, obviously. It's kind of interesting because, doing this podcast and being sort of in the trenches of not only covering, but also researching and fact checking leaks and rumors for 2 years now has both increased and decreased my level of excitement. Because I'm super well informed about what's coming and what to be excited for. But like you, I've just had the Switch 2 on the brain for 2 years. And so I have sort of become acclimated to the thought of it, you know?
Yeah, I think this is the most I've ever had to learn about a console ever.
Yeah.
So and when it becomes part of your job or a thing you have to do, it kind of changes your relationship with it a little bit. Not that I'm complaining entirely, but at the same time, it's I'm kind of looking forward to it dying down a little bit and it being a couple of years into its lifespan and it being a bit normalized. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
we've talked about this part before, especially in the last couple of weeks, Nintendo's messaging and clarity about the Switch 2 has been subpar, let's say. And so it does require a lot more. You gotta fact check and double check everything anyway,
yeah,
because you're doing, journalism. But tracking down information has been harder than it should have been.
yeah, I've even noticed. So I guess we're more in tune than the average consumer. But I sometimes don't appreciate that because one of my pals, we're going on a little holiday at the end of July. We just booked out an old Airbnb castle. There's lots of castles here. For a big friend trip. And I was like,
Fun.
I'll bring my new Switch 2 and we can play Mario Kart. And then they were like, oh, and you can game share it to all our Switches. I was like, no. For one, you'll all have the original Switch and it's a Switch 2 game. 2 doesn't have game share support. And they're like, oh, I thought you could just share every single game. And I'm just like, all right, Nintendo, you need to step up your game, man, because people are very confused about things they shouldn't be confused about at this point.
Yeah.
And it was very annoying. But yeah, you don't appreciate how that affects people that aren't having to research it every day.
Yeah. The one that I have experienced the most confusion with in my personal life is game key cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also, like, and that's also partially because the online outrage cycle picks on, like, the most inflammatory aspects of it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I like game key cards, because I don't. But the internet and YouTube and other podcasts do have a habit of, you know, focusing in on the worst aspects of them and kind of forgetting to be nuanced about things. And a lot of people have the tendency to not read beyond headlines.
Yes, I hate that.
Yeah. So that has been, I don't want to say friction, because it wasn't friction, but a very frustrating on Nintendo's part aspect of this information should just be clearer and easier to find and better communicated, especially during the Direct. Although I say that, the Direct was already an hour long. I don't think, like, at a certain point, people are just going to forget things. We forgot things, and we had to cover it for the podcast. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I had to cover it twice, so. And there was things that happened, and I'm like, did that happen? Yeah, it's really bad.
But yeah, like you, I'm also very much looking forward to it's just out. It's been out for a while. There's, like, the occasional interesting new thing of, like, ooh, this older Switch game is getting a compatibility update, or a feature with, like, game sharing or whatever. Like, that's going to be fun and worth covering. But once everything is out and known and people have gotten a chance to play with the hardware, we can all just go back to not furiously covering every little detail about a thing that isn't out yet.
Yeah. Although, on the other hand, that does, like, keep me in a job because there's stuff to write about.
Oh, for sure. Like, there will never not be stuff to write about with the Switch 2.
Yeah.
But at least then it will be based on more verifiable information.
Yes. And I can actually, like, turn it on and check, which I always prefer to do. Yeah. God, I can't believe it's a week. Next week.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Statistically, by the time you're listening to those podcasts, it will be, like, exactly a week.
Oh my God. Everyone's bank accounts are going to start crying.
I mean, I already paid for mine,
Yeah, me
so
too.
it's been crying for a while.
Do you get those, like, roundup emails from your bank, and it's like, your outgoings were blah blah % more this month? And I was like, yes, I know they were, thank you.
No, I don't. I didn't know that was a thing that happened, because I've had the same bank since 2012.
Yeah, I get, like, you spent more money on anime figures this month than last month, and it's like, shush. Please don't remind me.
Don't like that.
No, well, it doesn't say anime figures, but I know that's what it
okay.
is.
Oh, okay.
Pain.
And if you want to help make our bank accounts cry a little bit less when buying Switch 2s and Switch 2 games for coverage on the podcast, feel free to check out patreon.com/GamePodular and throw us a couple of dollar dues, help pay for hosting costs, that kind of thing. You don't have to, but it would be cool and good if you did.
Yes, please.
Also, hey, we're on YouTube still to this day. It's happening. It's still happening. If you want to watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/@GamePodular. And if you are listening on YouTube, hey, what up?
How's it
Hit the
going?
like button.
Yeah.
Subscribe and leave a comment. Tell a friend. ring the notification bell, all the other things that YouTubers tell you to do. Guess what? We're technically YouTubers now too. So I believe we're legally, like, I think when I made the account, I like signed an end user license agreement that said I have to do this. So yeah.
Leave a comment that says Rosie is awesome. And
yes.
Nothing mean to follow that, please.
Absolutely. Just be nice to people on the internet. Like it's that's like a thing that people say all the time, and it remains to be true. Like, it is very easy to forget. I've done it too. Not gonna front. That like there are actual human beings on the other sides of those usernames and profile pictures. Mm-hmm. I have no great segue, so let's just go talk about the news. All right, our first news story, as it very often is new games on Nintendo Switch Online. Ooh. We got from the Game Boy Color, Survival Kids. This is a survival crafting game from 1999. Not gonna lie, I didn't know that style of play went back that far. Like, I knew it obviously it predated, like, Minecraft. But that's sort of the one that brought it more to the popular consciousness, I feel. It's the predecessor to the Lost in Blue series. And if you've been paying attention to more recent episodes of the podcast, you may feel like you recognize the title from a Switch 2 game that was announced during the Direct. And if you are, hey, gold star, congratulations. Because, yeah, it's part of the same series. They're just making a new one.
Ah, that's clever. I like that.
And if you're an even more, like, if you have the memory of an elephant, you might remember that Survival Kids is where the live streamed section, the video just completely crapped out and we only had audio for a while. Oh. That's when that started.
That's why I can't visualize it in my head, because there was nothing to remember. Okay.
Exactly. Then for the Game Boy, it's Gradius Interstellar Assault. Not the first Gradius game that has been added even recently. I feel like we covered one like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, like the collection of...
I don't know what to tell you. It looks like a Gradius game. I will say the music is like shockingly good. Or at least from the little trailer that they posted. Then we have also from the Game Boy, Kirby's Star Stacker. Ooh. It's sort of like a Puyo Puyo or Dr. Mario game, but with a Kirby skin. You stack different blocks. Those blocks are like made of 2 different colored things. And then you put them with other same colored things, and then they disappear and things happen and you make combos. You know these games. Not exactly Tetris, but close enough. And then last is The Sword of Hope, also from the Game Boy. This is a first-person RPG that has a lot of menus on screen and not a lot of graphics. I will say, I think it's very, very impressive that the Game Boy is capable of, like, having something like this, because it's not like a big screen on that machine, you know?
No. It's teeny tiny.
Yeah. And yeah, this sort of reminds me of like, what's that game called? Akalabeth?
I have no idea what that is.
Might be a little too obscure. Are you familiar with the Ultima games?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
It's sort of like the predecessor to Ultima.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But again, it's very cool that something like this can exist on the Game Boy. No idea if it's any good. It sort of, not gonna lie, it looks fairly generic for a fantasy RPG. But again, it's on the Game Boy. Oh, here comes the bad news for you, Rosalie, because we're about to talk about a whole bunch of Switch 2 things.
That's fine. I'll try not to, like, zone out halfway through.
All right, the first thing we have on the list here is another list, I guess. An announcement that 12 games will get free Switch 2 updates when the console launches. Most of these are just like visual or frame rate or both upgrades, but there's some interesting ones in there. I'm going to run down the list and we'll sort of talk about each one. The first one is 51 worldwide games. Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, I'd never heard of this one.
Oh, this one became like a meme because lots of old grannies like it.
Yeah. Because I'd heard of like 51 Clubhouse games, but that's a different game, right?
Oh, maybe I'm getting them confused then. Unless this is a sequel?
Ooh, could be.
I thought they need to do some of that research we're talking about earlier.
Yeah. Hey everybody, Editing Hilka here. Just wanted to let you know that this is indeed Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. It's just known as 51 Worldwide Games in Europe and Australia, hence the confusion. All right, back to the episode. This one, the interesting thing is they're adding game share support, which will allow up to 4 people to play together locally or through game chat on one copy of the game.
Ah.
I had also missed that game share would work through game chat. I thought it was only locally.
No, so it's locally or through game chat, but if you're doing it through game chat, that means it's only through the Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you need to have game chat, which is free until March 26th next year. But after that, you'll need to be a member of Nintendo Switch Online in order to use it. So if you don't pay for that, the C button is pretty much useless.
Yeah.
Modern gaming things.
The next one is ARMS.
Oh, yeah.
That's just visual and frame rate upgrades. We were talking about ARMS a little bit in the Discord server a while back. I guess slight spoiler for later in the episode, but I've been playing some Smash Bros recently, and I've tried Min Min a couple of times now. Very cool character in Smash Bros. I couldn't really get along with ARMS all that much.
No, I played the demo and I couldn't get into
itself.
Yeah.
As I said in the Discord server, which, hey, you should join our Discord server. Details are on the website. Again, take it with a grain of salt because I only played like 2 hours at most on someone else's system. But I feel like the barrier entry is just a little too high. Like, it's sort of in that weird middle spot where it's like, it's too technical to be like a fun party game like Smash Bros. Is. Mm-hmm. But it's not technical enough for the real fighting game sickos who play like Street Fighter and Tekken to get into.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is a pity because it's a very cool idea, like switching between like changing your fighting style between like different knuckles and like doing it from so far away because you got the ribbon arms. It's a very cool concept, and I do hope we get to see it explored a little more. Mm-hmm. But I think it was just, a victim of its own mechanics, really. The next one is Big Brain Academy, Brain versus Brain. Also, visual frame rate. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, also pretty normal stuff. Game Builder Garage is getting updated with Switch 2 mouse support.
Ooh.
Which is exciting.
Yeah.
Notably not in this list, Super Mario Maker, which would be a pretty natural thing, because like the first one, you could do fun things with the Wii U touchscreen, right?
Yeah, I imagine that's because the servers are gone for 2, aren't they?
I know they are for 1.
Oh, I thought they were for 2 as well.
Ooh, I'd have to double check that. Like we have covered servers going down, and like there was a group whose raison d'être was to make sure every Super Mario Maker 1 level had been completed once. And I don't know if that also happened for 2.
Oh, maybe 2 is still up.
I mean, 2 was on the Switch, right? Like, it's still the most recent one on the, for now, current console generation.
Yeah, because I had the first one, and that was in the Wii U.
I suppose that doesn't really mean much anymore, considering, like, Concord happened.
Yeah, so maybe it's not on the list because they're
R.I.P.
going to take it down at some point, or
just release a new one and then take the old one down.
Yeah, which, I still want that Zelda version, but
it would make sense, right? Like, obviously it sucks that they're probably gonna, like, the 2 servers are going down inevitably. Like,
yes.
That's just gonna happen. But releasing a new one on Switch 2 with, like, way more features and things you can put in the levels because of the hardware's much higher processing power,
yeah,
plus mouse support, I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's probably calling it here.
Yeah.
So when it does get announced,
I doubt we're the first ones to think of this.
True. No, but you're probably right.
Then the next one is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Then, hell yeah, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yay.
I did read some articles that had some, like, comparison screenshots from, like, I think it was Digital Foundry. And one thing that is cool that they are getting to do is the world is getting more populated with Pokemon.
Oh, good.
Like, the density of Pokemon in the overworld is getting increased, which is very cool. Still kind of, like, I didn't get to see any like, screenshots that showed whether the really egregious texture tiling was still extremely visible. Yeah, but hey, at the very least, they're getting an upgrade, and it'll probably run relatively well.
Which means I can have an excuse to buy the DLC finally.
Yeah. And then the next one is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This is also getting game share support, allowing 4 players to play together in Super Mario 3D World, and 2 people to play in Bowser's Fury, 1 controlling Mario and 1 controlling Bowser Jr. Then the next one is Super Mario Odyssey, also getting game share support, with 1 player as Mario and 1 as Cappy. I confess, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Player 2 can be Cappy in the game anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's mainly...
Like, I don't know what this accomplishes aside from being able... Like, because if 1 player is controlling Mario, then the other player will just be on their own Switch, watching player 1 play the game, and occasionally interjecting as Cappy.
Yeah. It's kind of like the quote-unquote 2-player Super Mario Galaxy. And all you could do was, like, collect the star bit things.
And also shoot them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they needed to add game share for this,
no,
to be honest.
It might be just it might be maybe they were testing it with some games and they were thought, oh, we'll just let people be able to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll probably see more impressive uses of it later on, maybe.
For sure. Then we have The Legends of Zelda's Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening are both getting upgrades as well, which is nice because both of those had their fair share of frame rate issues.
Oh, yes.
And that's the full list that they've released so far. I mean, it seems like a pretty fair bet to assume that these are going to be far from the only ones, of course. Mm-hmm. But broadly speaking, there's some, like, high profile picks here. You know, Scarlet and Violet were the ones that needed it most, obviously. And 51 worldwide games with game share is like actually cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Zeldas definitely needed it too.
Oh, yes.
Love to see it. A very cool little accessibility thing that they've also confirmed for game chat is text to speech and live captioning during game chat.
Ooh.
We have already seen, we've covered in previous episodes that there's going to be menu narration as a default accessibility feature just baked into the Switch 2 menu options. And when they were showing this off, they also showed like someone typing like in the Switch 2 like keyboard thing, and then it got read out.
Cool.
I have to imagine that they're also confirming, like stealthily confirming USB keyboard support, which was a thing on the Switch 1 as far as I've been informed.
I think, yeah, I never tried it, I don't think. I'm trying to, like, recall. But
But I so far haven't seen anything like any official announcements on whether they'll actually work on Switch 2. Again, I have to imagine they would be. But like, again, this goes back to what we were talking about in the intro, I suppose. Bad messaging on where all of the information is.
yeah, unless they're keeping it secret on purpose, which I wouldn't understand if that's the case.
Yeah.
So,
similarly, the other one we have is Koei Tecmo, of all people, did like a live stream where they were talking about some new features for the Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening CE, where they were talking about Switch 2 mouse support. And then they just randomly also brought, or not randomly, it was relevant. Then they also brought up that you can just plug a USB mouse into the Switch 2 and seamlessly switch between the two and also use a controller and a mouse at the same time.
yeah, that feels like something Nintendo should have told us already.
Yeah.
Although, I can see if they haven't designed anything specifically with that in mind, that it might confuse people with like the Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. But it also gives them an excuse to be like, here, buy this Switch 2 branded mouse.
Yeah.
Unless that is coming.
I want to see Nintendo branded mouse pads.
They had them for the SNES mouse, didn't they?
I have to imagine so.
Yeah. Because that was my theory, that they were going to either do a new Mario Paint of some sort, or put Mario Paint in the SNES NSO library so you could use the Joy-Con 2 controls with it, which would be very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, some Switch 2 mouse pads, that'd be cool.
Okay. Shot in the dark. What is like an interesting, like, not as well-known franchise that you'd want to see like a cool mouse pad design for? Because I don't want just like, it's a mouse pad and it has the logo for Super Mario Brothers and like the one marketing render they have for Mario on it, you know? I want some originality. I want something unique. And what do you think would be a cool thing they could do for that?
That's an interesting question. Well, ignoring the fact that I actually buy TCG mats and use them as mouse pads because you get more interesting designs and they're big.
Yeah.
Like I have like a Final Fantasy X one, Madoka Magica one. I have all sorts. I was going to say I'd love to see some Kingdom Hearts ones, which is technically on the Switch, but I actually am using an official Kingdom Hearts mouse pad right now, so they already exist. But a Nintendo IP,
I think you could get like weird and creative with like Kirby inhaling. you could do like a cool like swooshy wind design that sort of mimics like mouse movements a little bit. I think that would
Okay.
be neat.
Or like that it's big enough so that like, it is him.
Oh, just straight up like big Kirby mousepad. Yeah.
Yeah. Although again, I do have a Kirby the mouse pad from the Club Nintendo, but it's a bit rubbish. Um, I don't know. Pikmin one would be cool because you could get away with like having kind of funky background patterns where it's just like a print of the different Pikmin styles,
Yeah.
and you could do funky things with it.
Pikmin would also just be great with mouse controls.
It would be, and I really hope they release a new one. I'm actually surprised that wasn't going to be a launch thing, but maybe the last one 4 didn't sell as well. I don't know. There is. I'd love to see. There's a Nintendo art. What would you call it? Line of like kitchen products that's out right now.
Yeah.
And I have the stackable mugs. They were like exclusive to the Nintendo, like the physical shops in Japan and America, but they did like a online pop-up shop, so you can get them on. Well, you can get them on the UK Nintendo shop, and it's like Mario print, but it's kind of more adult and subtle. So it's
Okay.
like there's like a plate design that uses the art, and it's kind of like an off-white cream, and then it has like a line, and it'll have like one character on it like running. And the mugs I
That's
have
fun.
are like the flagpole. So when you stack them all together, it's all the characters like going up the flagpoles. It's
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So I'd like if they did something like that where they got new exclusive art that was a bit more like, like you said, not just like here's Mario's face.
Yeah.
Because I hate T-shirts and stuff that's just like here's the Zelda logo, and it's like, why? That's so boring.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see stuff like that, or like you could have like Donkey Kong ones with lots of bananas on them.
Ooh.
A scratch and sniff banana scented Donkey Kong mouse pad.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Okay, if that actually, like, Nintendo, if you make that, send us money.
Yeah.
Because that is such a great idea. I would love that.
And scratch and
That'd be
sniff,
so cool.
it still exists because I have the what was that? Bug Snacks. I have the Bug Snacks 7-inch theme song on vinyl, and it's Strawberry Scratch and Sniff. So I know the technology still exists.
Did you ever see Spy Kids 4 in theaters? Speaking of scratch and sniff?
No, did that have like a scratch and sniff like thing that you got when you went in?
Some showings did, yeah. It had Smell-O-Vision because it was Spy Kids 4D, of course.
Of course.
And so at certain points in the movie, I think either it was on the card or the movie itself would prompt you to like scratch a section of the card and sniff it. And like of the like 8 segments on the card, like 5 of them were farts or something. Like it was.
Which is really, not to get off tangent, that's very funny because there's like a film from the 70s, the 80s by John Waters, the really famous like queer director writer,
Yeah.
which had a scratch and sniff like thing you got handed out, but it was really gross things. And that came out way before that, and I wonder if that was the first film that did it, because that's kind of funny that like an adult kind of film is inspiring a kids film.
I mean, it would not surprise me if Robert Rodriguez was significantly inspired by John Waters in some ways.
No,
Seems like the kind of guy.
that's true. That makes a lot of sense. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, do banana scented things. And it would tie into New Donkey Kong, and all the marketing for
Yeah.
the Universal Park is all Donkey Kong right now as well.
Yeah, it is.
I'm very jealous of all the cool stuff you can get there. I need to get to Universal. But yeah. Man.
I was maybe thinking like maybe like something with Samus's visor as well, but I think you'd have to be able to include like motion in that a little bit.
Like
And I don't think that would make for a very good mouse pad.
yeah, because like if it was lenticular, it'd be like a bit rough, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd still be cool though.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can think of something. I wonder if they could end up doing I don't have one, but one of my favorite like modern tech things is like the Logitech PowerPlay mouse pads, where like it has to work with their mice specifically, because of course it does, but the mouse pad like charges your mouse as you use it.
That's cool.
Because there's like a disc that you put into the mouse, and it's, you know, like wireless charging mats, a bit similar. So if they could end up, even if you had to buy a new set of Joy-Cons with the tech in it, that if you used it and it would charge the Joy-Cons, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
You'd have to enjoy games that facilitate the use of using mouse controls, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've read some like articles of like journalists who went to like preview events and stuff, and the mouse controls have had a very mixed reaction so far.
Yeah, I kind of thought that. I assumed it would be a while until enough things were out to, you know, benefit from them. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I wonder how like Star Fox would benefit from them. I imagine they have to, right?
yeah. Was there? Yeah. Oh man, just do a remake all the Star Fox games and have them in one collection with mouse controls. Because wasn't there?
Yeah.
I have the little toy of it. The 3DS one, Command.
Star Fox Command?
Yeah, that one was cool.
And then you could maybe like just try Star Fox Zero again. Because like I will say I've never played it, so I can't judge for myself. But like the number one complaint I heard about that game is that the controls were awful
Yeah.
and like really unintuitive. And so if you had the benefit of mouse controls to add that like precision, I imagine you could like really fix that game with these.
Yeah. Ooh. And I really wanted to play that, and I never did in the end. So that would be.
And of course, because it's me, I have to obligatorily say, also remake Kid Icarus Uprising with mouse controls, please.
It's
or
got,
give us a sequel, or both.
It's got to be coming. It has to. They make so much money with all these DS remasters and remakes, which would 100% benefit from mouse controls. There's no way they're not doing that. And if they aren't, it's just stupid. Because I will rebuy all these things. I'm aware that makes me part of the problem, but I'll do it.
And I think like one of the biggest beneficiaries would be Professor Layton, because like those games are like, if you try to buy them secondhand, they're stupidly expensive.
Oh, they're not so bad here.
Like at least here in the Netherlands, like a copy of I think it's Miracle Mask, those can get up to like up to like triple digits.
Whoa. You can get the first few for like £5 each in CX, because I rebought one like recently and forgot I already owned it, which happens a lot for me. I always get interested in what's worth money in some places, what isn't. Yeah, just checking now, you can get it for £6.50.
Wow.
Which is, you know, that's weird, because normally stuff is, if it's expensive where you are, it usually is here as well. Interesting.
Yeah, it's possible. Like, I last looked into this around the time that the 3DS eStore was being shut down. So like that's been what, like 2 years ago by now. So it is not impossible that it's changed.
Yeah, that's true. I know the one of them. I think one of them is. Oh no, they never released a physical one with the Phoenix Wright crossover. It was only digital, wasn't it? Was it?
Ooh, that I can't remember.
I think it might have been digital only. I remember there is something of that ilk. Maybe I'm thinking of Phoenix Wright that is really expensive still. But you know what? 3DS is probably the right thing to start collecting for right now. Now that I think about it. But yeah, that'd be cool. You've reminded me that the Professor Layton, the new one, is coming out at some point, and that's very exciting.
Yeah, do we have a release date more specific than just 2025?
No, I don't
Do we even
so.
have that much?
No. Maybe? I can't remember.
It is very funny that, like, it was announced long enough ago that the Switch 2 hadn't even been officially announced yet.
Wow. Because if they did like a remaster set that had all the other ones on one collection, so you could play them.
Oh, yeah.
Because I definitely didn't play all of them. That would be cool.
Yeah, 2025. We have been told 2025.
Okay.
And we have also been told that it is Switch 1 and 2.
Okay. That's good.
But yeah, even if they wanted to do it like Phoenix Wright style, where they do it in bundles of like 3.
Yeah, I buy that.
Because there's like a second Professor Layton, like his daughter or something, that becomes the main character for a while.
Yeah, and I've not played that one, and I wanted to. And there's a movie.
Yeah.
Which is quite good.
So yeah, I think like Professor Layton would really benefit from it. Honestly, 9 Persons, 9 Hours, 9 Doors and its sequel would be bangers.
Yeah, that's already on Steam and stuff, so it'd be probably quite easy to port.
Yeah.
The PC version. Oh, Trauma Center.
Oh, Trauma Center. Yeah.
And the sequel, what's it called? Trauma Center Second
Opinion?
Yeah.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
Ooh, okay, come with me on this journey. How well do you think Pokemon Ranger would translate?
Oh, I loved Pokemon Ranger, yes.
Like, would
Both
that be too slow to rotate a mouse like that? As opposed to just a tiny little stylus on a small screen.
That's a good point. Maybe they could, like, make it slightly easier to, like, because of that reason. But Ranger was cool. Ooh.
And I also wouldn't mind seeing how, like, Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks would translate.
Yes. I've wanted to replay them for a while, but I was like, I really can't be bothered finding my DS charger.
Yeah.
So that would be really neat. And one of my favorite Final Fantasy games is a DS game. It is Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings, which is the sequel to 12. And it's like...
Oh, yeah, it was like the tactical RPG?
Yeah, and it's really, really good. And I would love a remaster of that. Especially considering they brought out the remaster of 12 in the first place, which is pretty sure you can get on the Switch. So it'd be cool to have both of them.
Yeah.
And that would be cool with mouse controls. God, there's so many games that would benefit from it.
I'm also just really excited to see, like, they've already confirmed that Civilization 7 is getting mouse controls on Switch.
Yeah.
I want to live in the world, we've talked about this part before, definitely, where you can get, like, a sort of slightly dumbed down real-time strategy game on Switch.
Oh, yeah, but with Nintendo, like, IPs.
Yeah, not even necessarily. Just, like, I want to see, like, I don't know, like Age of Mythology on Switch and see how that would go. I think if, like, they haven't necessarily, like we said, they haven't necessarily confirmed keyboard support yet, although, again, I have to assume that they will. Because as someone who has played a lot of real-time strategy games, especially, and even recently, you do really want keyboard shortcuts for those and hotkeys. And it would feel weird to be like, hey, here's this console game, but you kind of have to plug a separate mouse and keyboard into your console. And at that point, why are you playing it on a console? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Although, I wonder, that could mean theoretically they could get like Final Fantasy 14 on the Switch too.
It would probably be powerful enough to run it.
Yeah. Maybe.
Would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't play it anymore, but I imagine that would be pretty handy.
Yeah.
It runs on the Steam Deck through Steam, obviously, but interesting.
I gotta say, going back to like something we were talking about previously with like being inundated with rumors and stuff, this having able to have had the opportunity to look into all that stuff does mean we have a sort of pretty strong knowledge base to have at least some basis for our speculation here.
Yeah, they're not, yeah.
We're not just like
Pulling at straws.
throwing things against the wall until they stick,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think it's just if it makes sense, if, you know, there's been rumors, if it would be a good option financially, you know, you can assume a lot of things might pop up on the Switch 2 at some point.
Yeah. I have sort of been thinking about this because we are in a time now where we're getting a lot of like remakes and remasters and like from the ground up remakes, like the Resident Evil ones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've read that part of the reason for that is it is a pretty safe financial bet to do it.
Yeah.
And like the comparatively to making like a new entry in a series or an entirely new IP, the cost of producing them is relatively low and the returns on them are relatively high, so they can use those returns to fund like new games.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, I don't really mind all that much. Like, obviously it does feel kind of bad for like a lot of studios and publishers' outputs to be the equivalent of I like things I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So, Simpsons reference.
And you did it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We need to make
I know like 5 Simpsons references.
we need to make that bingo card.
Yeah. But it also like gaming now has more people playing games than like ever before. And there's so many games out there that, let's be honest, are not actually inaccessible, but functionally inaccessible.
Yeah.
Like, for a lot of people who got into gaming in the last, like, let's say 10 years, like, whose first gaming console was, like, a Switch.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them are going to go like, ooh, I've heard good things about Super Mario RPG. I'm just going to go buy a Super Nintendo and also a CRT TV because the Super Nintendo doesn't have an HDMI port cable that can fit into my television.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a step too far for most people.
Yep.
And giving people the ability to experience these games both for the first time and also with potentially like quality of life improvements.
And accessibility upgrades as well.
Yeah. I think it is mostly a positive for the industry.
Yeah.
Do I have some complaints? Sure, but I think broadly it's a good thing.
No, me too. I lean more into I'm a fan of remasters and remakes, so long as they're not like, oh, it's that game you like, but it's some stupid alternate timeline, and here's some plot ghosts and fucking. You can bleep that out. I'm not a fan of the Final Fantasy VII remake games, as everybody knows, but no, I also like. Yeah, I it's annoying that when they're priced at a certain way as well, when you're like, come on, it's like, but No,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of them as well. Also, because I like to rebuy games I like. So, how many times do I own Kingdom Hearts? Too many times. But no, I like them too.
I have to seriously think, like, how many copies of Psychonauts do I own?
Oh, is that your most? Doesn't I think even I own 2 copies of that somehow.
Because I own it on Switch. Not Switch. I own it on Steam.
Yeah.
I own it on GOG.
Do you own it on?
I own it on PlayStation.
Did it not come out on the original Xbox? No. Yeah.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also on PS2, which I did own for a while as well.
Ah, yeah.
And somewhere buried deep in my humble bundle library is an Ouya code for Psychonauts. Yeah.
I think Kingdom Hearts is my worst one because I own the original games, like the PS2 ones, the Game Boy Advance one, the 3DS one, and then I bought the HD collection on the PS3, and then I bought it again on the PS4. And then I also bought the HD collection on Steam.
At least you didn't buy the terrible cloud versions on Switch.
Or the Epic Game Store one where the cutscenes didn't work properly.
Oh, boo.
But that's why I didn't buy them. You know what? And I'll probably buy them again if they did like a PS5 collection because I have issues. But
I mean, there's something to be said, like we said, there's a lot to be said for convenience, right?
oh yes,
Like, because even like you, who does own a lot of consoles,
do I?
realistically speaking, are you like going to be plugging your PS2 back in to play the original version of Kingdom Hearts anytime soon?
No, I'd yeah, exactly. I mean,
And so yeah, having the like on your hard drive, like as a digital download, or just okay, well, I want to play Spyro. Oh, look, I have this cool Spyro HD collection. I'm just gonna slide that into my PS4 or PS5 or whatever.
especially if they have like quality of life upgrades, like because
Yeah.
and faster loading times because when you get older, you don't have all that free time to sit around.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah. But not that my retro consoles don't always collect dust, and I am planning to put together like a nice elaborate setup so I can easily switch between them all. But for now, they are sitting in a cupboard. And I do like remasters because, don't have to take something out of a cupboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although there are some remasters that I question a little bit. Like some of the PlayStation ones, like they remastered like The Last of Us
Yeah.
and Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Spider-Man as well, right?
What, the Insomniac one?
Yeah.
Ye...
Because at least the Steam one of those is considered a remaster.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, they remastered it for Steam and like PS5.
Yeah. Luckily, you got the upgrade for free, I think. To be fair, a lot of my... Because you mentioned Resident Evil earlier, all of the upgrades, because they did PS5 versions later on, all of those upgrades were free if you had the game already. Which was very cool. I mean, that honestly, I found that more to be the case with most of my like PS4 stuff, which, is nice when Nintendo isn't doing that with everything. But yeah. Well,
I have to imagine, like, obviously they're not doing it with everything.
No.
But I have to imagine a lot of it is going to be rolled out over the next, like, year or two.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the same with the PS5. There wasn't that many to begin with, and then there was. Now I have too much to play.
Speaking of having a lot to play, I played basically nothing that was on my I am currently playing list recently.
Me too.
And instead, I think I did mention this on the last episode. I did spend some time playing some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Ooh.
Because until like a couple of weeks ago, I had never bought Fighter Pass 2.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know why.
And I've now, for the first time, especially you, Sora's in it.
I know. The last time I played Ultimate was when Sephiroth came out, and I bought him separately. And then I was planning on getting Sora and stuff, and then I just left it too late. I do have the amiibo, obviously.
Obviously.
And now they're going to do something. There might be a free upgrade for the Switch too, so I was like, I'll just wait.
Fair.
And also, like, it's not really... I don't know, I don't have any friends. All my friends are into other, like, Guilty Gear Strive and stuff instead, so...
Yeah, the more technical games for the sickos, as I
Yes.
described them earlier in the podcast.
That sounds pretty on brand, yeah.
Well, to be clear, we use sickos as a complimentary phrase on this podcast.
Yeah, it's a term of endearment.
Yeah. But I had never actually played with any of the fighters from Fighter Pass 2, so I thought for this segment on the podcast I would give like mini reviews of all of the characters, like 4 years after they came out, as someone who's not good at fighting games.
Oh, me neither. I like them, but I suck at them, so we're on the same level.
I would describe myself as slightly above average at exactly Smash Bros.
Yeah, I'm probably that too. Maybe. It's been a while.
I will say, like, especially the more technical fighting games, like your Street Fighters, your Tekkens, your Guilty Gears, your BlazBlues, you can, like, it does take a lot of practice and a lot of just actual factual studying, basically, but you can get really, really good at them if you want. Mm-hmm. There's a stream series, which I admit I don't watch, I don't keep up with, but I really like the idea of it, called Oki Oki Fight Club on Loading Ready Run, where the conceit of it was the host, for lack of a better word, is fairly knowledgeable about fighting games, and he takes a couple other people who don't know a lot about fighting games and teaches them how to play Street Fighter.
Ooh.
And so this series, like, as it progresses, they're just slowly, you can visually see their progress as they get better and better at Street Fighter 6. It's very cool to see. I see like little highlight clips sometimes. Again, I don't watch it, but like, if you're into that kind of thing, check it out, I suppose. Character number 1 is, I guess we'll start with Sora.
Yay.
I dig how Sora plays. He, like, true to his origins in Kingdom Hearts, his double jump is very floaty.
Yeah.
But floaty in a way that I enjoy. Like, there's some characters who are floaty in that game. Like, I don't really love how floaty Princess Peach is in Smash Bros. Mm-hmm. But Sora is, like, his recovery is excellent with that double jump. And you can, like, do a lot of mid-air maneuvering as well. His smash attacks, his special attacks, one of them, you do a sequence of fire, thunder, ice? Is it ice or frost or freeze?
He shouts freeze. I think it's just called, it's Blizzard, I think, in the game.
Yes. And, like, first you have to do fire, and then after that, it'll switch to thunder, and then it'll switch to freeze. They all work differently, so you can't, like, spam fire. Fire is just a normal projectile. Thunder kind of works like Pikachu's Thunderbolt, like it comes down from the sky and creates, like, a line. And then freeze is very close range, but it will, I guess, freeze the enemy for a little bit. Yeah, he's a good time. He kind of reminds me of Hero, like the Dragon Quest hero,
Oh yeah.
in that there's a little bit of randomness to his moveset, but not as much as Hero or like the Fire Emblem protagonist. I know that doesn't narrow it down in Smash Bros. Robin.
Right. I was about to go through them all. So many.
Yeah, you can be a little more tactical because you always know what's next in the sequence.
What's Sora's... Oh, what are they called in Smash? Is it Smash?
Final Smash?
Yeah, it's it. I keep forgetting what the names of things are. What is it?
Ooh, I can't remember now that you ask. Darn.
I remember seeing like footage of it when he was announced, but it's been so long ago that I can't remember.
I think it, similarly to like the Mega Mans, I think it involves just a whole bunch of the Keyblade wielders in some variety.
Oh. Interesting.
Next, the one you mentioned, Sephiroth.
Yes.
I did like take a sneak peek at like Smash Bros character tier lists.
Oh.
And apparently Sephiroth is top tier.
Oh.
Which I can see it, but he's definitely not my playstyle. He's got some very cool specials, but all of his moves, including his like just normal attacks and like smash attacks, they just have too much wind up for my taste. Like he's just a little too slow. But I think this is one of the characters that if you get really good at factoring in that kind of wind up, I imagine he could be very powerful.
I did.
He has
Oh, sorry.
this weird thing where after he takes a certain amount of damage, he grows his like one wing.
Yes.
But I don't know what that accomplishes in the game.
I think it's just meant to
Smash
look
Bros.
cool.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they lean into... Because he's a one-winged angel.
Yeah.
So you gotta look the part. And also they just kept using it in a lot of marking after Advent Children and stuff.
Yeah.
I did...
It's so famous that professional wrestler Kenny Omega named his finishing move after the one-winged angel.
I do love... Because I think I took a picture at the time when Sephiroth came out and you could just be Kirby and you just... When you like suck him up, you just have his big Kirby with Sephiroth's big luscious hair, and it's just so funny.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it so much.
My favorite from Fighter Pass 2 is Pyra and Mithra from
Oh.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You can switch between them on the fly, similarly to how you used to be able to do that for
Zelda and Sheik.
Zelda and Sheik, yes. Pyra is more melee focused and Mithra is more ranged focus. And the ability to switch between them on the fly just gives you so much flexibility. And a lot of their specials can be charged up for extra damage.
Ooh.
I will say their recovery for both of them is really bad. Like Pyra's especially, it's sort of like Incineroars, where you do get, when you do the up B special, you get like a jump up that if you reach the ledge, it stops there. But if you don't, you like torpedo downwards and instantly die.
Oh.
But of all of the ones I played, I had the most fun playing Pyra and Mithra, just switching between the two, using like air moves at range, and then switching to Pyra to just absolutely annihilate people in melee with fire-based attacks. So much fun. And they're so fast, which I really appreciate.
I need to get their amiibo set because it's really pretty.
It kind of reminds me of Roy, but if Roy was good. Because at least competitively, Roy is like bottom tier.
Oh, Roy was my main back in the melee days.
Yeah, I loved Roy. I mean, I think I'm still like... I think Captain Falcon is still my like number one main.
Oh.
I love Captain Falcon. I have since the original, which is when he was at his best.
Yeah.
I think he's gotten worse in like every successive game, which is a pity, but probably for the best because he was a little OP in original Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Then we have Steve from. It has a question mark. You got to say the question mark from Minecraft, or if you want to be relatively topical, I am Steve. And similar to that, to the performance in that movie, Steve was mostly just kind of annoying to play as. The recovery is like weird, and the animations, they just don't gel with the rest of Smash Bros. At all. And you have to like manage your crafting table and like gather resources in the level to power up your weapons. It feels like there's just way too much upkeep for this character.
Yeah.
Kazuya from Tekken. I don't know what to tell you. He plays like a fighting game character. Like, obviously, like his moves are going to be different from Ryu and Ken's, but he just feels the same to play. I don't really have anything else interesting to say about him. He's fine. He's pretty fun. I prefer like sword fighters in Smash just because they have a little bit more reach.
Yeah.
And the fist-based characters, like, I play a reasonable game of Little Mac, but that's about it. And then the last one we mentioned earlier is Min Min.
Yeah.
Very tricky, but in a way that I enjoy. Because you can switch out different arms in the same way that you'd switch between Pyra and Mithra. And they all have different properties, with like some that are really slow but hit hard and some that are fast and have longer range and stuff like that. It's cool. It allows you to be very tactical and switch your strategy on the fly, which is, I think, something you really have to do in games like this. This is, like, of all of them, like, Pyra and Mithra are the ones I had the most fun with, but Min Min is the one, like, if I really knuckled down and practiced, I think I could get pretty good with Min Min. So there you have it. Hilka's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighter Pass 2 report, many years after it came out.
And
I'm sure I've busted the competitive meta wide open.
I only own 3 amiibos, small of them as well. That's really bad. Tisk tisk.
Do you own the Steve one?
No, but because I want to own all of them, I'm gonna have to at some point. No, I own
fun.
Sora, Sephiroth, and Kazuya. And they're all still in their boxes, actually. I don't know why.
Nice.
Some of them I just was like too scared to open. I might rebuy Sora just so I can have him out and about because he is the best boy.
I'm not really going to talk about it at length, partially because I didn't write any notes on it either. But I also spent a little bit of time like playing a fresh save of the adventure mode.
Oh, yeah.
With all the spirits.
Is it still meh?
Yeah, it's still pretty mid.
Yeah.
It's like the main problem I think it has is there's a lot of like fun little gimmicks you have with all the fights. But a lot of those gimmicks just either make it way too easy or way too hard.
Yeah.
And a lot of times there's a gimmick that if you have the right spirit, you just equip it and it doesn't matter anymore. Like you have like air fights where there's like, ooh, there's fog on this level, and then you equip a spirit and there's no more fog. Okay. Cool. Yeah. It's kind of mid. The selection of, because you start as Kirby, of course.
Yeah.
And then you have 3 branching paths that taking one locks off the other 2. Because you get Kirby and then you get Mario. And then you have the choice between Marth, Olimar, I think Marth, Olimar, and someone else. And I always pick Marth because, as previously established, I like sword fighters. But it's just a weird selection trio at the beginning.
Yeah. I don't even like the map. I just wanted the same as, what was the one in Brawl called?
Subspace Emissary.
Yes, I just wanted that again.
And another complaint I have is I actually started it on a new profile on my Switch. Because if you want to replay the adventure mode from the beginning on your normal file, you'll still have access to all of the spirits you've collected over the course of the game.
Oh.
And so you'll start from the beginning, but you can equip your maxed out spirits that just give you absurd bonuses to your damage and defense.
Yeah, so you're just OP.
And you're just steamrolling everything in 3 hits, and then it's just not even fun anymore. Not that it's particularly worth replaying, I suppose, but I do like, I do like having the option, I suppose, of starting completely fresh without having to either wipe my entire save or start an entire new profile. Mm-hmm. It's a minor complaint, I suppose. It's still a fun game. I did spend, if I had, an hour to wait between, okay, I've done all my stuff for the day, but it's too early to start cooking dinner, I just spend, an hour doing, 5 stock battles against CPUs. I wasn't even playing online. I would just be, random stage, both of us pick random characters against a level 5 CPU. Mm-hmm. Go. Let's see what happens. And I discovered that I'm very bad as Bowser Jr. And I'm really bad as Villager as well. I remembered how much fun I have playing Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is so good.
Oh, yeah.
And Ganondorf. I play a decent Ganondorf.
Oh, he was a bit too slow for me.
I like his moveset is basically just Captain Falcon's.
Yeah, so
but heavier and slower. But also more damage per hit.
I can't remember who my main and ultimate is. Huh.
And I'm less good as Cloud than I remembered being.
I was looking back at all my amiibos and I can't remember. Oh, well, might be Rosalina, maybe? No.
Would be funny if it was Pichu.
No.
The worst character in the game.
Oh. Might be Kirby. Oh.
Kirby's good.
Or I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to I do want to replay it at some point. It's always in the back of my mind. There's just so many other things.
And it's a great thing it's still to this day a great thing to bust out when you have visitors. Mm-hmm. My brother was visiting here a couple of weeks ago, and he stayed over, and then the next morning we were like, hey, do you just want to play some Smash Bros? And then we just played Smash Bros for an hour. It was great. I love it. Please release a new Smash Bros with a good single player campaign.
I think we're a long way off of that, but that'd be so good.
I don't want to get into a pretty deep discussion on it, but at this point, there's not really many more people they could add,
No.
Unless they started adding more side characters from established franchises. They could add the 4 leaders from Breath of the Wild as separate characters.
The champions, yeah.
Oh yeah. I never played it, so I'm gonna defer to your expertise.
No, that would
Or at
be
least I
cool.
didn't get nearly that far when I did play it.
Yeah, no, they could do that. No, there's still a few people they could, but yeah, it would be like it wouldn't be any huge characters because they already have most of them.
Yeah. Like the biggest ones would obviously be like second or third party characters.
Yeah.
You know, they've done that plenty enough with like Sonic and Snake and Cloud and Sora and Steve, I suppose. I mean, like, I don't see Sony making another PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale anytime soon.
You know, I like that
So, like,
game.
yeah, I mean, like, I never played it, but it looked fun. I'm not gonna front. But like, it would just be hilarious to have like, okay, what's the worst example? Cole McGrath in Smash Bros.
I mean, Parappa the Rapper would work, but he's so synonymous with PlayStation that it would be weird. And also, there
Yeah.
not a Parappa game on any Nintendo hardware, so.
Okay, I think I have a really good one.
Uh-huh.
Elden Ring is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, I think I know who you're getting at.
So like you could have like, I don't know, Melania or Star Scourge Radon as playable characters in Smash Bros.
What about, is it Alexander, the pot guy?
Oh, Pot Guy would be good.
Yeah.
Turtle Pope as an assist trophy.
Yeah.
Just run through all the Elden Ring memes.
I could see that actually. Well, there was a Dark Souls amiibo. So like that could do something.
Yeah.
And probably I think I mean you can technically use every amiibo and save your things, your stats, online stats, but
Yeah.
yeah, that I could see that working.
Yeah. It's like Rathalos from Monster Hunter is already an assist trophy. I don't know if we could get any like. I know that there's a Marvel vs. Capcom, I think, where just the Monster Hunter is a playable character.
Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, I can't remember if he is an assist trophy or not, but Beautiful Joe would be cool.
Yeah, he's an assist trophy.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
thought he was. Yeah.
You could do like Wonderful 101 representation to be sort of like an offshoot of Olimar.
Oh.
Just make like Amaterasu from Okami a full-fledged character. Like there's still plenty of third-party options.
Yeah. Get more Sonic characters in there.
Give me Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He was in.
He's also in a
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom game, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's in the one that everybody likes that I can't remember the name of. I think it's 3. Is it 3?
I think it's 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's loads of characters you could still use.
Yeah, it's just that they're kind of running out of like first-party
Yeah, you might not.
big names.
You might not get the kind of like Banjo-Kazooie reception, but they're still out there.
Yeah. Now we're getting to the part of the show where we're going to be talking about what we're playing in the near future. I'm looking at our notes here, and it seems like we both wrote more or less the same thing. I wonder why that is. So I'm going to be playing Mario Kart World because it is coming out next week.
Yay!
How about you, Rosalie?
Well, I'll be playing Mario Kart World.
Wow. Who'da thunk it?
And the NSO GameCube library as well.
I will probably, like, I think I said this during the episode on the Direct. I think the Switch 2 getting GameCube games is going to be the thing that finally gets me to upgrade to the expansion pass.
Oh, yes. Well, it'll be worth it because, Wind Waker.
Exactly. I want to play Wind Waker and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness.
Again, though, talking of earlier, I already own Wind Waker on the GameCube, and I own it on the Wii U. But it's going to be so much easier just to play it through the Switch too. So
exactly.
Yeah, and I've got that beautiful GameCube controller coming. So, I'm excited.
And the other side of that, and I've never really had an opportunity to play it because I never owned a GameCube or a Wii or a Wii U.
Oh.
Full circle, baby.
That means we have an excuse to talk about it properly.
Yeah.
And it's pretty high up there with my favorite Zelda games. Like, pretty high up. And it still holds up.
I'm looking forward to hearing the soundtrack in context.
Yes, oh my god. And Wind Waker Link is, to be honest, he's objectively the best Link. Because he's the only one that's...
Toon Link, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's like the most emotive of most of them.
So yeah, that's what's coming up. Just a scheduling note. Of course, this will be the last episode before the Switch 2 comes out, as we've alluded to multiple times over the course of this episode. Mm-hmm. So by next episode, you will also probably hear our thoughts on the system as a whole, because assuming everything goes right, we'll both have had a chance to play with it.
Yeah.
So look forward to that.
Yay.
But until next time, we are going to call it an episode. Thank you for listening. If you're on YouTube, hit all the buttons. Tell a friend. Say something in the comments or on Blue Sky or any of that stuff. Take care of yourselves. Have fun with your Switch 2s if you're also getting it on release day or near release day. And we will talk to you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of In Focus. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on iTunes. It really helps us get noticed. Also, please tell your friends if you think they'd be interested. Word of mouth really helps too. You can also listen and subscribe on Spotify and other podcast services and YouTube. And if you're listening on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also be sure to check out our sister show, Game Podular Unfocused. Follow us on Blue Sky and at GamePodular.com for updates, news, and other content. Links to all of our socials, including our Discord, Mastodon, and Blue Sky, may be found at our link tree. If you'd like to support our shows, you can buy us a coffee or become a Game Podular patron. The details for both are on our website. Thanks. This episode was edited by Hilka, and you can follow him at Gear12Turbo at kind.social on Mastodon, or at gear12turbo.bluesky.social on Blue Sky. He was joined today by me, Rosalie, who you can find at littlerecordgirl.bluesky.social on Blue Sky. Have a good one.